News 12 is brought to you by Kenneth Nugent. From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Happening now, the Columbia County Board of Education is in session talking about how the district decides what's taught in your child's classroom. We're there live with an update on one parent's push to ban one novel from all school shelves.
Plus, near record highs before a cool down coming this weekend. We are tracking a big change in our temperatures straight ahead. But first up, new tonight,
And that full forecast coming up.
a federal jury returns a guilty verdict today in the federal hate crime trial of 3 men convicted of killing Ahmaud Arbery. The jury found racism is what motivated the men to chase down and shoot the 25-year-old while he was out jogging through this Brunswick neighborhood 2 years ago. Arbery is buried here in the area in Waynesboro with family ties to our area. His mom speaking out today about the fight it took to get here.
What we got today, we wouldn't have gotten today if it wasn't for the fight that the family put up. Ahmaud will continue to rest in peace, but he will now begin to rest in power.
All 3 of these men already serving a life sentence for their murder convictions. Father and son, Greg and Travis McMichael, without the possibility of parole. William Roddy Bryan has the possibility of parole in 30 years.
Happening now, school leaders in Columbia County are going over how they will decide on the material taught in the classroom. All of this comes after a mother's complaint against the book, To Kill a Mockingbird. She says she wants it banned from schools for its racial themes and language.
This is our first look at the copy of that very complaint. It's an official form, an appeal form from the district. In it, the mom makes it clear she thinks the book has no academic or literacy value to students. News 12 Sloan O'Cone live with us from the Board of Education building where members have been in session as we speak. And Sloan, when can we expect a decision on this book matter?
Well, the committee has 10 days to come up with a decision on whether or not to keep the book or not. But they're hoping to make an announcement tonight, but Associate Superintendent Michelle Sherman made no promises. Now, I want to point out that these are 2 separate meetings. So the one going on inside right now is the Board of Education meeting, and that's open to the public. But what happened earlier today was a small, private, anonymous committee to go over this filed complaint.
Does not support the district's mission, does not contribute to improved academic achievement, no promotion of higher level thinking skills, no literary or social value. All checked on the list of the formal appeal against To Kill a Mockingbird. The anonymous complaint claims the theme of the book is to, quote, humiliate the African American race and the language. Emmett Till also identify with the theme. She says there's nothing positive about the novel, but not every parent agrees.
There is so much positive that we can teach when we look at the destructive behaviors of our past, and especially when we have the opportunity to teach our kids how to have those conversations.
But now an appeal meeting is having a conversation made up of the Associate Superintendent, Director of Student Learning, 2 principals, 4 teachers, and 4 parents, all behind closed doors.
And I think that's the problem, is when it looks like you're hiding something, it looks like you're doing something wrong. I mean, we teach our kids that all the time. If you have to hide it from mom, probably isn't something you should be doing.
They follow this agenda, looking at the complaint, getting feedback from student learning, an overview, Q&A, and eventually vote. And fill out this rubric similar to the criteria on the complaint. But ultimately, most parents I've talked to don't want To Kill the Mockingbird.
Well, I hope they don't decide to take it out, but that's just a personal opinion. I was always told a person that doesn't remember their past has no future, and you're destined to repeat it.
And I just want to reiterate, the committee has 10 days to come up with a final decision. So hopefully they'll be able to make one tonight. Our Maria Sellers is inside right now listening in, and she's working on a story for News 12 tonight at 11, looking at how they choose what materials they use.
And Sloan, it's a decision we'll all be watching. Thanks for the live update there from Columbia County. Moving on now, Augusta's Gateway Sculpture Project is back on track. You might remember these designs from way back in 2019. Well, they were both scrapped after many of you who live in Richmond County shot them down. The plan is for sculptures to happen near Sandbar Ferry Road, the airport, Riverwatch Parkway, and I-20. The first will be on the list as one near the airport. The city says work starts now to find an artist and come up with some new designs. Riley.
Hey, beautiful weather for the rest of the work week, well above average.
We know a loss of taste is a common symptom of COVID, but what about people who never get their taste back?
In case you're wondering, these are images of our taste bud cells. Right now, doctors at the Medical College of Georgia are studying them to figure out why we lose our taste and why some are still suffering through the symptom long after they recover from the virus.
News 12's Wrdw takes us inside the lab to show us a solution isn't so simple.
After we've stained the tongue,
for 30 years, Lynette McCluskey has studied how all of us can taste.
there's great interest in finding out how taste buds regenerate.
The pandemic is showing how important these studies are.
It's about the size of a human hair.
MCG received a grant from the National Institute of Health that's helping understand why COVID causes us to lose our taste.
It was really stunning in how many people are affected and how complete the taste loss is.
This is concerning for doctors because this can affect nutrition and quality of life.
We have patients who have lost their sense of taste for over a year.
Taste buds like these are mostly found on our tongues. They're constantly exposed to germs, bacteria, or getting burnt by hot pizza. Those taste buds regenerate, but when they're infected with COVID, sometimes they don't.
We're not sure if the virus is directly infecting taste buds, infecting those taste cells and perhaps killing them or slowing their turnover, or if it's indirect, that there's inflammation in the surrounding tissue and that's affecting taste function.
Age, gender, and genes all affect how we taste everything, making it more complicated to study.
Even the number of taste buds differs quite a bit from person to person, over 100-fold between individuals. There are also genes that affect how we perceive taste.
Doctors say if you lose your smell, there are ways to train your brain how to remember those smells. For taste, we're not so lucky.
We don't know if there's an equivalent for regaining taste at this point. So we really have no strategies showing how important this research is.
In Augusta, Will Rio on your side.
Interesting and important research. Now, if you're someone living without your sense of taste right now, we asked if there's anything you can do to try to bring it back. Doctors say, unfortunately not. Those TikTok challenges and the hacks just won't work.
And then there are some cases where tastes have changed. For example, some of the long haulers say that when they taste like coffee or citrus, it tastes like nettle. A lot of people report metallic tastes that they've never tasted before. So even when you get your taste back, sometimes it can be changed, which is just so bizarre.
You know what it's supposed to taste like, and it's far from. Think of that. Your appetite's going to be affected first of all. But yeah, it's just a serious thing. I'm glad they're looking into it here in Augusta.
So many questions still left to answer with COVID. Speaking of so many medical questions, we're taking a
Brings our temperatures back down below average Sunday into Monday.
All right, thank you, Riley. Still ahead tonight in sports, Westside High wins the region title in their third year under head coach Jerry Hunter. Hear why the Patriots say the culture is changing at Westside.
Plus, a family's plea to find the driver behind the
Side.
Plus, a family's plea to find the driver behind the wheel in a deadly hit and run in Augusta. We'll take you back to the scene where neighbors say reckless driving is a concern.
The Live by Camera Network is brought to you by
The all-new Buffalo Garlic Glazed Boneless Wings Meal comes with fries, sixes, toast, and a drink. Only at Zaxby's.
The search is on for the suspect involved in a deadly hit and run in Augusta. 38-year-old Jerry McKinnon lost his life over the weekend after being hit by a car here in Augusta. Richmond County deputies telling us McKinnon went to get some food Sunday night but never made it back home. His body found yesterday afternoon on Coleman Avenue, that's off Peach Orchard Road, right behind Butler High School. And tonight, McKinnon's family is asking the driver involved to come forward. News 12's Claire Allen at the scene where neighbors say dangerous driving is an everyday thing for them.
The family of Jerry McKinnon is asking for answers after investigators say he was hit and killed while walking on Coleman Avenue. Neighbors say reckless driving has been an issue in this area for years.
That was my uncle. He was a part of our family, and I really wish that this wouldn't have happened.
Jerry McKinnon's family says he was walking home from getting food and was struck Sunday night after 8:30. These orange flags and damage to the fence show the aftermath of the hit and run.
You could have made an anonymous phone call. There's no way you didn't know that you totally took a person out right here on the side of the road.
Neighbors say speeding is the norm.
A racetrack, just come around the curve, just thinking how fast they can go and not even paying attention or realizing that we have humans that's actually standing in the street.
And just like the people right there flying around the curb. I know people fly around this curb all day. I stay right down the street. I mean, I wish it would stop.
The McKinnon family is asking for anyone who knows or saw something to please come forward and notify authorities. In South Augusta, Claire Allen, on your side.
And we do want to give you the phone number you should call if you have any information that might help deputies solve this case. You can contact deputies at 706-821-1080.
Repaired roofs, new ramps, and some fresh color. It is all part of the work happening to homes this week in Allendale County. These teenagers are part of a church group in town from Connecticut. There are more than 70 of them here all week long to help fix up homes for the elderly. And they're here on a nice week to do it. Glad for that. All right, if you haven't heard, it is Tuesday, but not just any Tuesday. It is Tuesday. These students at Warrenville Elementary, they sure know what I'm talking about. Today is February 22nd, 2022, or 2/22/22 if you write it out in numbers. It is a once-in-a-lifetime date, so we tagged along with Miss McGriff's class, celebrating with a Tacky Tuesday to remind kids it is okay to be different.
For us, we are reading the book The Tacky Penguin later on today, and that book is basically a story about a penguin who is different from the other penguins, and it's really important to me that my students understand that it's okay to be who you are.
A great lesson and a lot of fun today. This is Miss McGriff's 4th year as a kindergarten teacher and 10th year teaching total.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Westside head coach Jerry Hunter built Laney into a state championship winning program. After leaving the Wildcats, he took over a Westside team that had gone just 8-18 the year before he got there. Fast forward 3 years, the Patriots are region champs and one of the favorites to win the 2A state title. The Patriots had their final tune-ups this evening as they get ready to host Jeff Davis tomorrow in the first round. After starting the season 7-0, Westside suffered a tough 1-point loss to Butler. Then they won 8 in a row just to lose to Butler again. After beating Putnam County in the region tournament semifinals, the Patriots avenged their losses to Butler, giving Hunter his first win over the Bulldogs as Westside head coach.
The Butler game was a test. Had we not won, I would have still seen some growth, but they overcame, a team that was a very good team. Coach Body's doing a great job over there, so they got a win. That was a necessary win in order for us to move on.
Patriots host Jeff Davis tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Augusta University's Tyshawn Crawford was named Division II National Player of the Week. Crawford put up 25.5 points, 14 rebounds, and shot 70% from the field over 2 games last week. Saturday's win over Flagler put the Jags atop the conference standings with just 2 games to play. Crawford and AU take on North Georgia tomorrow as they look to extend their winning streak to 10 games. And finally this evening, Churchill Downs replaced 2021 Derby winner Medina Spirit Sign after the horse tested positive for a banned substance. Riley?
All right, thanks for that, Nick. If anyone's heading out to those games tonight, temps will be in the 70s and 60s.